I have a methodical system for using the imagination, because there's a vision you'll have that's a shadow in the world of forms, and the vision is you stepping out of your nice car filled with energy, and everyone focuses on the nice car and the smile you have, but that's not the law of attraction. The law of attraction is how much energy do you have in that vision. Look at his energy. He's full of energy. The higher you is full of energy, and then ask yourself, how are you going to get that nice car and successful life? It's telling you, the vision's telling you, look at, in the vision where you're very successful stepping out of the nice car, look into your eyes, focus, not hard, just play with it, and see the imagination. That you is filled with energy, meaning he's working. He's working and you're not working. That's the difference from you and successful you, right? So everyone focuses on the Ferrari, just come to me. But no, look at who's in the Ferrari, which is your higher self filled with energy, positivity, and winning vibration, winning frequency, which is when the vibration is full, when it's like a shield, right? And that's the quantum field. Like Egyptians knew this, everyone knew. Close your eyes and imagine your wins. You're not negative when you're winning. Trust me on that, right? You've never won being negative. And if you have, you kind of get embarrassed because you compare it to when you're being positive, and it's very different, right? It's peace of mind, money, all that. Does that make sense what I said? Yeah, because that vision's everything. Like, Heel Mike's only visions he's had for the last few weeks, I guarantee you, is bloody ones. That's why he's inviting this universe to him. This is not his fault. But going to these parties again and again and again, what are you attracting? You know what I mean? And the weird part is, the outlaw archetype that's ruling over Mike, or rules over me, or you guys when you guys are in trouble, and these archetypes that literally flow through you, they need to be transmuted because they're always going to be there. And what does an outlaw really want? Someone who's always in trouble with the cops, an outlaw. What does he really want? What is he asking God for every day? Because every second is prayer. Every desire you have is prayer, is a form of it, right? What is an outlaw who wants to just keep doing? I'm not talking about in the laws of the city. I'm talking about the laws of, the harmony of God's world that he wants for you. You're going against that. What does an outlaw want? An outlaw craves law and order. That's why they keep doing crazier until they get locked up, and then they have peace of mind. They're in prison. So when you focus on balancing solar and lunar psyche, you'll see who you are, because it's always your unconscious that has to push through is always a mirror. It's always a mirror. So if you're always doing drug dealing, you're begging God for law and order, right? If you're doing law and order every single day, you're begging God for freedom. You feel kind of trapped from the system, right? And that equaling opposites gets you very far in life. And people are like, well, that's too simple to grasp. Like, no, it's easy to grasp. It's not easy to hold. You're going to forget tomorrow. I guarantee you're going to be a loser tomorrow. You know how many thoughts you have to, I'd say maybe 1,000 thoughts a day you have to say in your own brain, I don't need that. So when Mike has an impulse of go to this party, who cares? I'll just take the punch, get some easy views. He needs to have the mindset that goes, I don't need that. I don't need that. Right now he's operating in needs. Man, I need this content today. Why do you need this content today? What do you don't. You don't even have to work for a year, you'll be good. Like, the need scares me, that like people get attached to needs, right? And this guy saying in chat, he did not want to fight. Just search up Heel Mike fight on YouTube. A man who doesn't want to fight doesn't float around streets for 2 hours with 10 guys last week, and he's always floating about it. So any way you chop it, you and your buddies would get in an Uber and leave. Clearly he wants something to happen. He needs the sensation of, I need to feel alive. So my world is, I'm not talking for Mike, but who do you think, when I was bouncing, this looks so familiar. This is like, I need to feel something. Let's feel something. Something has to happen. Something has to, and I'll tell you this, You can say these L's and stuff. These L's are more addictive than any drug. These L's of I felt alive for an hour is more addictive than anything. You'll always wind back to this. If you don't believe me, how addicted are you to sitting in your bed, your computer room, and doing nothing? You love L's. There's nothing more addictive than taking L's. There's, especially if you're stubborn. If you're like, you know what? Because what a form of depression is, anyone who drinks, I don't care. That's what a depressant is. It's alcohol. It's self-aggression. So Heel Mike's at war with himself. If he doesn't have a war, he'll drink till it appears in front of his face. And there's a million signs to leave a party. And you guys are saying, yeah, he tried to get in the Uber. Sure, this time. What about last time? What about the time before that and before that and before that? You know? And Mike's the kind of guy that when I talk to him one-on-one, I can see he doesn't want to hear me. And I don't like to talk that much because he looks like he reminds me of me. So I go, yeah, I wasn't listening to anyone either. But my best friend stabbed to death because of like this, and he never fought. He was a nice guy. So imagine if you're also this kind of like reckless type. And when I say it on stream, Mike watches the stream and he sees you guys type, and he actually starts to snap out of it. Think of your unconscious as, one in the chat if you're listening, bro. I'm not saying this twice because this is going to be the darkest you ever hear. And just transmute Heel Mike's psychic issues with yours. Okay? Your unconscious that is like a pool where you kind of look into the reflection and you don't really understand your shadow. Could have some nice shadow traits. You know, my shadow traits made me have this awesome life, but it also comes with a lot of bad, right? And making the unconscious conscious is how you individuate and become whole as a person, successful and happy. Not happy, whole. Nobody wants happiness. They want to be whole. That's the feeling. So, for example, you don't know your unconscious traits. Like, the reason you're with your girlfriend is not because you love her. It's because you don't want to end up alone. But what are you saying that there's nothing I do enjoy her company, and I'm saying you put up with her shit because you don't want to end up alone. That's how it works, correct? That's how it works. And you can never actually use your brain to unravel your unconscious. It has to be triggered through trauma, and then it gets repressed. So even then, or through therapy or psychic revelation, right? So now check this out. The archetypes, there's infinite, and they're surrounded by symbols, right? So think of Neptune. The symbol of Neptune says a lot. It's a thought form that's packed with a bunch of shit, right? The deep unconscious, the mystical, the delusions, the world of fantasies, water, all that shit. Think of it, the little trident, right? Symbols are surrounding an archetype. In the zodiac, let's say there's 12 archetypes, right? But there's infinite, bro. Your brain can just whop, 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 whop. Now check this out. The archetypes that rule you will rule you for the rest of your life, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's what no therapist will ever tell you, because they don't study Jung, and it's illegal. This information I'm telling you right now is illegal. That's why 5 therapists at that party freaked out when I said it, and I destroyed them in the debate. It got quiet, and I'm so glad it's not live, but because they understood Jung. And one of the therapists said to me, well, can't you just change your archetype? No, you can't. If your archetype that rules you is like a Vegeta type, anti-hero, well, Vegeta changed at the end of the series, but he's still Vegeta. He's still the same guy with development. That's unconscious becoming conscious. That's the individuation process, but he's still not Goku. He cannot be Goku, right? If you're obsessed with Hitler, documentaries, Rome, you will never get chat to stop watching documentaries on Hitler. It's ingrained through their soul since they're 5 years old. You can never get a human, and if you did get him to stop watching fascist documentaries and tanks and all that boy stuff, he's ruled by the ruler archetype. If you got chat to stop being ruled by that obsession, who would chat be? A hollow zombie. You cannot switch. If you have the ruler archetype, I want the Rolex, I want money, I want power, you're dominated by that. If you have the beta male, never want to grow up archetype, you never want to grow up, you just want to party, blah, blah. you're ruled by that. That means you're fighting that for the rest of your life. If you know you're a beta male, you'll never have a quick fix, ever. That's why people click on when I was a beta in Japan, they're like, how the did you switch? Dude, what are you talking about? It's something you have to go back to and fight for the rest of your life. You know? I'm a perfect example who a bunch of my unconscious shadow traits became conscious and I stopped doing them. Right? I made a life out of that shadow. And Mike, his shadow is in full form right now. There's the trickster archetype that wants chaos but also gets some views. So it's how do you juggle that? The positive, negative, right? If you're ruled by the trickster archetype, you become a fat, expensive YouTuber. Hey guys, new YouTube video because you didn't get attention from your parents maybe as a kid, or that's most YouTubers. But now if you're ruled by the trickster archetype and one of your parents dies, you go on to crack and other things. That's why Mike looks very healthy to me. I know this sounds crazy, but his father passing was very recent, and he's dealing with a lot of unconscious, pent up, like, what can you do? That's a fucking warrior going through that. But he's going about it all wrong, right? And this is the darkest thing about the world, is that if your unconscious doesn't become conscious, it will build up for years, and then you start fighting everyone. And I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. Like, here's this Fight Club analogy. If you get Mike 10,000 viewers doing desktop streams, do you know he'll miss this? You know how much he misses this? This pulls at me to go there. There's something about the devil that is, I've never seen anything prettier in my life, man. Like, the devil is a force, and the best looking version he comes in is the mirror. You don't even know how attractive. Mike ain't make money off this stream, and he still gets pulled to the dark side. And you don't know the dance with the devil. It's euphoric for your animal nature. Your higher self don't even fuck with it. It's not even mad. Your higher self's not even mad at the devil. Just, I don't want it. That's what's scary, is like, every day you have a desire body. Okay, we're getting a little deep, but you have a desire body, a world of desires, and some people's desires are Epstein level, billions of dollars. What's darker? Let's go to kids. The desires are never quenched. You can't fill that hole without God. It's impossible, dude. You don't need sunlight to grow a child, because there's an invisible sunlight called God that raises you, fills you, grows you, and you're a seed turning to a stalk, stem, and a rose. But guess what? At one point, some trauma you go through in your life happens, and you go, no more sunlight for me. No more. Not until I find out what happened to my leaves. What happened to my connection with my father? What happened to why is my stalk bent? And you stop growing with God. You stop growing towards God. And that's a scary place, bro. Why do you think when I lived with Mike, I was lit that he looked at me, he's like, dude, it's been a month, I haven't thought of anything bad. I'm like, yeah, I'm good at this, bro. Like, you want to live with me? But I said that if he knew what was in my head, bro, that was the first month, I didn't think of anything bad. I used to be a very negative guy. Loved living with this dude. Loved it, bro. Like, you know how many hoes we ditch just to laugh, us two? But Mike and Zherka, our shadows are huge, man. Huge. These are the only streamers that will get stabbed on stream type shit. He's worse without you. Here's the truth, man. Even if I'm there, you think the nights I don't go out, he won't go? He will go. I'm not doing that coping thing where it's like, it's not my fault, but yeah, it's my fault. But if I have one night where I'm like, Reina, can I squeeze you? And Reina goes, no, but we can watch Moana. Yeah, okay. What do you think Mike's gonna do? You think this dog is gonna stay home, or is his tail gonna start wagging for blood, man? Have you guys never been in this mode? This mode is not, people are like, man, it's the alcohol. Yeah, but it's not. It's I'm telling you, therapists hate when I say this. He'll do it sober. That frustration Mike has, a lot of unresolved, just like me, just like most streamers. By the way, girl streamers, anyone who's a streamer, 90% of them, if you meet them offline, they went through some shit. And it gives them this aura of like interesting. Like you want to watch their shit because you love the scars. You're like, what if I get those scars? Like these psychic scars, you can sense this. Right? Every e-girl I ever met, they're like, yeah, I was raped. Now I'm an e-girl. I'm like, what the f? Girls, guys, the entertainers, bro, they're running from something, bro. They can't turn it off. They cannot turn. You think entertainers can do what I do? Like, 10K views, now 1K views? They can't. They'll fucking if I don't get paid, I'll have a mental breakdown too. But if you guys knew how much money Mike was making when he wasn't in danger, you'd see how stupid these streams are, right? I wouldn't want Mike to do these streams for 70 bands a month, but at least then there would be some kind of talk about it. These streams aren't paying like that, are they? No, man.
I'm 16 and wanna be successful in life. Which books should I read?
I never ever have read a mainstream book, and I never will. And for business, I hired a mentor, and I literally 2 hours a day, I couldn't learn. I couldn't just read. The shit was boring. So I just threw him a bunch of money and asked him a million questions. And pretty much the advice was, outsource all work so you can stay creative. And he raised my bank account. Like, he overcharged the fuck out of me. But I skipped the queue, and now we're here. And it's great, Percentage to Dimmy, percentage to Dead. Got E involved. I'm getting a couple more therapists into my website. I'll take 70% of those therapists. So we're growing at a rapid pace, But yeah, I've only read psychology books that are intertwined with mysticism. Because before psychology, the practice was this thing called magic, like working with the unconscious. Because look, the unconscious is a mammoth. You feed it peanuts, you appease it, but eventually it takes you to the street fight. There's nothing that will stop that mother. And that's what's scary about you guys, is if your unconscious wants you to stay home and be a loser, the only thing you have control over is the time frame, how long you want to be a loser. But as soon as you stop being a loser, it's going to walk you back to your room to be a loser, and you have to get out, and it's going to walk you back, and eventually that relationship starts going this way, and you start switching. But what happens when it switches? Even bad stuff happens there, but at least you're out the room, right? And so if you're an introvert, therapists start stealing your money by saying you can fix it. You're going to be fighting it, your psychological complex, for the rest of your life, but it gets way better.
What's the best way to isolate yourself from people who bring distractions when you're trying to focus on yourself?
That's the thing, dude. It's never people. If you're ever trying to change people, you've lost. You're not God, dude. You have to change the inner. That's what prayer is. God, give me the strength to work 12 hours days so I become that millionaire that I know I'm becoming. You don't say, God, give me $1 million. That sounds like a devil contract to me, right? And the devil will screw you over on that one. You get by Diddy and get a 360 deal out that, God has never, hey, give me a Ferrari, and he sends you a Ferrari. No, he'll send you the mindset that gets the Ferrari. That's why the Ferrari feels like, wow, this is fun, because you got it yourself. And I say yourself because if I say God did it, which God does everything, which literally means don't talk about it, right? But yeah, there's a longing you have to be with your higher self, because it's floating up there with God. It's like an after image, and it's a mold that you have to fill in with yourself, kind of like the anima. Like every girl you date will try and fit this mold of your perfect woman, the anima. And when she's not fitting it, like your perfect woman doesn't swear and she starts swearing, you start arguing with her because she's not fitting your perfect mold, even if she's a good girl. And if you have an issue with that anima, because the anima is built from all experiences you have with sister, mom, girlfriends, all females fit that angelic archetype of like female. And women have that too. They have the animus. That's why they're so into me. They're like, man, that guy yelled at me. He's such a fatherly animus. He fits the mold of like a man, And there, people are desperate for that mold. Like, you are desperate. Like, the mold I want you guys to focus on is your higher self. You need to actually, if you have a picture in your head of you wearing some nice blue jeans coming out of a Ferrari, go buy those nice blue jeans. You're halfway there. And then steal the energy in your head that you have when you have the Ferrari. And that energy is smiling, working, networking, extroverted. That's the guy you have to be, right? Yeah, and that mold is for everything. People are like, well, what moments of my life should I not focus on the mold? Stupid. Every second should have that mold in your head. When I buy a coffee, I go, be extra polite. Be extra polite to this bitch, because that's the higher me.
Dad died when I was a kid and my brother got locked up for life. When I was 7, just been me and my mom.
You gotta grow up, bro.
Giordani donated.
You're the dad now.
$5.
I'm the dad. We're all the dad.
To believe the
You're 16, you're the dad.
The family we're born into is random. Ugly short people with bad parents had to have done something to anger God. Beauty and strength are the pillars of God.
Well, in Egyptian secret texts, it says that certain planetary alignments are healthy for kids, and you have to save up the energy. You can't just be piping your wife all the time. And everyone does babies wrong. That's why everyone's different heights and different symmetry. But good-looking babies came out on good alignments that you're supposed to. Like, that's what chanting is panting when you're piping, and you're trying to make a healthy baby. That's like piping someone is a form of magic if you're going to bring a soul onto earth. Yeah, and your karma got to be clean. So yeah, 99% of people born on earth are born on the wrong alignments. That's why they're ugly, right? That's according to Hermetic texts. I don't know. I'm not God. Jesus told us occultism is satanic. Occult means hidden, right? That's all it means. So yeah, there's a lot of hidden stuff that's satanic, but there's a reason why he spoke in parables. There's also stuff that's hidden there for higher level, higher minds. Yeah, Paul, Paul, genuinely, this is what I think about Christianity. If there's any bitterness to being a Christian, you're not a Christian. Like, there's nothing bitter about going to Christ. Yeah, I was saying some good stuff there. There's definitely stuff you should run with, because this angelic being that, we pervert these angelic kind of sun rays from God. This angelic being is being perverted by Mike. And, you want freedom, and then it turns to liberation. And liberation from what? From order. This angelic kind of archetypal phenomena that's in all of our brains is pushing Mike to do stupid shit. And he has to unpack it. And usually people have to yeah, a lot of it gets unpacked at rock bottom, but the problem is when you're an entertainer, there is no rock bottom, because it's always going to boost your career, which is your identity. A part of it is your persona, how you reconcile with the world, like just the mask you put on for the world. And not to say that he's fake, like everyone is fake. Like, you guys don't know what color underwear I'm wearing. That's a persona, right? If you guys knew everything about me, then that's the real me. But I'm wearing pink. But yeah, that's what I mean by everyone. Like, I have a thin persona, so it's fun to watch me, but my persona to myself is very thick. Like, I don't like to be reminded of my whole self, because my whole self is very, like, when I'm live and awake and conscious, I feel very, oh yeah, Jesus gang. But I know the other parts of me. Well, I don't know it. They're always going to be behind me, but you guys can sense that. And, I have to unravel that slowly. And some people, like Goggins, will dominate their unconscious. And they'll tell you can change anything. And yeah, you can change anything. The issue is you don't want to. You like these patterns. So you got to make the patterns healthy. Anyways, I'm going to wrap it up soon, but what were we talking about? Yeah, basically Mike's shadow is unraveling before our eyes. And A lot of the shadow traits are also good, so he'll identify with the good ones. But the ones that are pulling him to get stabbed, he needs to address. He needs to actually talk to his higher self and be like, hey man, the higher self is a projection where you go, oh wow, you're living a great life and not in pain, and you're close to God, and you're at peace. You're not happy, you're at peace. That's the ultimate bliss. And you never ask that higher self, how do I get there? Because like you're seeing how you get there. Everyone knows how. But you're looking at him like, are you real? And he don't wave, he don't smile, he makes the same face you do. So if he's disappointed in you, you're disappointed in yourself, you need to go back to that, bro. That you with wings, you have to go to that, Mike. Yeah. So why does the higher self sound boring? Dude, the higher self is in a Ferrari with a hot babe, and he's calm. He's not jittery like you when you get a 4 out of 10. Like, how the is that boring? The higher self is when you've had good dates, and you were like, she thought you were whole, so you felt whole, like you got your life together. What are you talking about? You should be in love with your higher self, right? Because all you do all day is talk to your lower self, your animal nature, your desire nature, and you trust me, you want to be at my point where I brag about how much money I make, but I don't need it, right? I just want more. We'll have more, excuse me. I already have more. It's coming. Like, let me correct that.
Pivecock donated $5. Difference between praying and meditating? And is meditating satanic?
No, intention satanic, but meditation opens you up to thinking. Like, there's 2 types of meditation. Mindfulness, it's more imaginative and active, and emptying your mind. Emptying your mind is good for those guys who want to get possessed, or it's good for lowering anxiety. But I've always meditated by releasing everything about my world, my inner world, my real world, my superficial world, and then filling it with God. So I've never meditated without God. I don't really get the Eastern thing, you know? I think a relationship with your coach gets you further in life than having no coach and doing it yourself. But 90% of the time, I do have the psyche that I am God. Not that I am God like the creator and stuff like that, but he wants me to say I am. I can do it myself. I am a millionaire. The blessings are just the wheels, right? Or excuse me, the fuel, right? But yeah, like I act alone in my action, but in my faith, I've never been alone since I became a Christian last year. So haven't been. Well, there's days where I'm alone, and I'm sure you know which days. Like you can see it, but I always come back because we're of the flesh. We slip a lot. Yeah. I mean, how many times do you guys fall off the God's horse, God's white horse? I fall off God's white horse and fall on some fucking Latino white, 3 times a day, no cap. That's low. What the? There's way higher than that. Yeah, mindfulness is a good way to put it. And I use symbols when I meditate. So, symbols that mean a lot to me. Usually, it's not symbols that I'll create. It's like, there's always a symbol that'll remind you of your dad. So it'll trigger memories for me, and then I pray for my family. And like, I'm sure, what reminds everyone, what's a symbol that's a dad symbol, right? Probably a hot dog. Like, our parents don't really eat that, but they'll always bring you a hot dog from Costco. So if I get that kind of triggered thought, I'll have a quick prayer. And yeah. And the prayer is more like a flex of I stopped thinking about Twitter and superficial to go back to family. And it can't be dark. I used to have dark prayers about like keep my family safe. Dude, it's not a drama, bro. That's ritualistic prayer. That's not good. That's drama that you don't want. It's not that it's invoking anything. It's just there's nothing God ever does that's bad. Everything is your warped perception. Because listen, everything coming down from God is good. And when something goes wrong in your life, you ruin your relationship with God trying to change his will. But the truth is, it was going great for you before that. So you fell off the beat. You fell off the path. And another thing is, like, if you've ever had those dreams where you wake up and that nightmare's over, yeah, one day you're gonna wake up and all your suffering it's over. You're right. I don't know if I should share this. Yeah, people who have had a psychedelic trance, I've never done psychedelics, but I'm talking about in other ways. If you've ever bathed in the solar splendor of God, if you've seen it, as much as it fades and you forget, you always feel like, wow, the ending's good. Like, if you've ever had that. So there's some people who are like 30 who, I don't know, I'm talking about the spiritual guys. Religious guys never really feel that. I'm talking about the guys who took it far, right?
Iamrian Price donated $5.
I'm talking about visually seeing it.
Margarita
If you've ever triggered that part of your brain.
Zherka, when a
It's
parent loses
intense.
a child and blames God, what's the right way to give advice?
I would never give someone advice that's going through that. They need understanding, right? They don't need advice. They need care. They don't need advice. They need someone there. They don't need advice. That's a very like MTV way to look at things. But the trials and tribulations people go through, I don't want to like make it small, but everyone loses their family one day. And the pain's gonna be the exact same for everyone. So if we're all on the same train, all you gotta do is say, what does my family want me to do? And I'll tell you this, bro, most people who lose a family member never carry out what their family wanted for them. They just forget. And it's horrific. And the fulfilled people actually complete their family's wishes, right? Or this is the worst part, is if you don't know what they wanted for you, but maybe you guys weren't close. And yeah, like, bro, growing up, you'll have a watch that you hate, that one day you will stab someone if they try and take it from you because your dad gave it to you when you guys were like, when you were a kid. That's like a part of carrying out their energy. Their energy has to live through you or else you die, right? Like, how that energy brought you here to life and you're telling me you can go on without it? Yeah. I think the best thing my dad ever gave to me was unlimited confidence. Yeah. Well, he still does it. Like, if you guys knew how close I am with my dad, you guys would be like, yo, that's a little too close, bro. Like, you know what I mean? We're like Mike would look like a stranger if you saw me with my dad. Mike would look like a stranger to me. Like, that's way close. And Mike would say the same thing about, he was super close with his dad. Like, but Mike's a soldier, man. When his father passed, he's like, got his life going. Popped off, did everything. And then, it unravels like this, but he don't stop. There's so many people who freeze after something like that. This guy's never frozen, bro. He just keeps going. Yeah, no, as much as I would love religion for you guys, it's not really the black belt of spirituality. You know, spirituality is you alone. Like, the church ain't gonna do much for you, bro. The religion is just the white belt. You gotta get into it, man. Then it's about you.
Every time I watch these streams I feel like I have the IQ of a dog, no meat riding. I've never heard more wisdom from any mainstream speaker. How do you get into a flow state like this and clear brain fog?
Read books. When you're reading books, you're not downloading the information, you're unlearning what you've already been taught. That's where you sound. That's when you start saying profound shit. It's like, you'll never see a clip of me where I sound like a TikTok advice channel. Because it's like from the heart. See, now it sounds like TikTok. I'm talking from the heart, bro. I ruined it right there. My first gay clip. But you know what I'm saying, right? Like, you know your ancestors and everything in your unconscious and collective unconscious. You know that everyone has any human can tap into genius for 2 weeks, a month. Some people can yank it. Tesla yanked it to, was it 80% of his life since 11 years old or some shit? Yeah, you have it in you, but why ancient Egyptians and all these ancient cultures the state would mandate thought in the correct way, meditation and all that thought loops, because the elites fucked you up, bro. 99% of your thoughts are not yours because you learned it from social media. And your inner thoughts are genius, like literal ancestral DNA type shit. But they're clouded by that phone of yours, which is, it's like scrying. Was this scrying? It's a black mirror, your phone. It's a crystal ball, but it's a mirror. And it's gonna send you into delusions. And you know, I know this hurts my paycheck severely, but even bigger than going to God, watch me get a bunch of hate for saying this. Get off social media. That's more important than... There's so many guys who are scrolling through a nude feed while they have God in their heart. And, dude, I'm telling you, you're not winning that fight, ever. You're never going to win that fight. Like, because here's why you can't get off social media, is then you don't have a social life. But a normal person gets off social media and goes to his friend group. So that's the tricky part. Or if you get paid off social media, right? That's even trickier. But yeah, I think step one, you should just look in your history and see how much, like everyone who's ever hired me, the part where they want to cry is not me saying anything mystical. It's when we're just unsubscribing from every single channel. And they look in my eyes and they go, how come you're not looking at which channels, John? Like, you're not looking to see what kind of content. What if it's good Christian content? I go, no, unsubscribe from all of it. Because it's not serving you right now. So that means it's not working. Just go to 0. And then they go, okay, what should I subscribe to? I go, unsubscribe from me too. And they go, what? I'm like, yeah, you came to me because it's not working for you. And they're like, okay, how do I watch your... Well, if you need to watch me, you can always click on my channel, but you're not getting notified by me. You're not watching all my shit. You have a lot of time on your hands now. You know, you're at 0. So as soon as their social media status is at 0 clickbait content, so they just get a normal feed on YouTube algorithm that they don't f- with. That's the healthy part. And then we 0 their thoughts. So we train you to go, I don't need that, I don't need that, I don't need that. And you're always going to 0, right, for all your thinking process. And then if it's what you want to do, your dreams, you stay on that thought. And you keep building that. You get tired, go eat a meal. Get distracted, nope, I don't need that. And then don't go back to working on your dreams. Just rest. and then go back to your dreams, but you never actually go back to. I don't know why people are so afraid to be addicts about drugs. You should be afraid of social media addiction. That's like, who are you if you unsubscribe from everything? You're nobody. So that means you're the fakest person on earth, because you have a sense of persona identity from the streamers that you're laughing with. No, the streamer's making a joke. You're not individuating at all. I am, but you're not. Like, I'm going up Jacob's ladder and you're watching me go up the ladder. Isn't this a one-sided transaction, bro? You know? So, and people are like, I swear to God, my whole life, every 2-3 weeks, I unsubscribe from every single channel that helped me, and I get new channels. Why? Because those were my February channels. Now it's March. And if I didn't soak up the info, then I f***ed up. You know, I can't go back. It's over.
Rotten Aquid donated $5. Yo, you brought me back to God. Jesus is king. I've been seeing 28 every day in the time multiple times. Does that mean anything?
It means you crave wealth. I'm not going to tell you. The meaning comes from you. It doesn't come from me. Right? Like, 28 to a wealthy person means something else to them. You know? And you shouldn't look for signs. That's like very stupid. It's not black magic. It's just stupid and low IQ. Synchronicity is a feeling. It's sensation. It's intuitive. It'll hit you. So if you're seeing 28 everywhere, what does that mean? Clearly it means nothing, because you're asking what does it mean? When you get hit by something that's meaningful, you feel it. So you go, Zherka, 28, I saw it and I felt this and it reminded me of this. Yeah, that's the meaning. I don't know what 28 means for you. Is reality shifting real? There's nothing else. There's nothing else that I know to be real except that. That when your consciousness expands even slightly, that Ferrari is just next to you. It's your friends though, but you have better friends. And then your consciousness expands one more time, and now it's your Ferrari. And it's weird, bro. It's... Yeah.
Bird Rodeo donated $5.
How are we doing?
What's your favorite method to reprogramming your subconscious? I don't really listen to music. Audiobooks, but what else is best?
I like to do imposter syndrome. So when I had 1 year of imposter syndrome and I got really dark, I got really toxic and I went back to some stupid shit. But imposter syndrome is the most healthy thing you can go through. Like, Zherka loves rap music but only listens to Beethoven and feels like an imposter all day. Yeah, but this Zherka's making more than every kick streamer, and he streams once every 2 weeks. Like, kick streamers on my level, I'm saying, you know? And I don't know how streamers have the same paycheck year after year. I haven't had 1 year where my paycheck doesn't triple, ever. And if it does, I'll lose my mind. Not anymore now, because now I know that there's plateaus that you have to be passive on, not active. If you're active on plateaus, you lose your mind a bit. And it's greedy too, right? You don't want to deal with avarice as you're going up, because that never ends. That's like lust. You know, you don't want to deal with lust because it never... Heel Mike will pipe 1,000... Is he satisfied? Is he... No. His thirst is actually growing more. The desire doesn't stop inflating just because you nutted. Okay? That hole needs to be filled with something. That's why there's no better feeling than your career is saving souls. So I found God because of you. Well, I'm getting rich because you're saying that, bro. Thank you. But I'm also doing one thing correct. Thank God. You know what I mean? That's balancing. That's so healthy for me. I can't imagine having a career like the rest of the world where they go to bed and they don't have one email like that. They just go to bed like, oh, I sold a car. Like, well, then, no, don't do that. But you know what I mean? Like, yeah. 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 Also, it gives me room to be stupid. I don't beat myself up when I'm stupid because I go, at least I'm saving souls. Like, when the chat hasn't saved one soul, I'm probably like I probably saved 100,000 plus souls in 1 month. You know how hard that is to do?
Adamo3 donated $5.
Holy Spirit
You remind
through
me of a
me.
mix between Hunter S. Thompson and Jordan Peterson. What is your opinion on those two?
I don't know Hunter too well, but as much as I shit on Zionists, Jordan Peterson's so healthy for your psyche, man. I don't like to say the individualistic thinking is everything, because that's a little Andrew Tate and hustler culture and it's a little but you compare someone like Tate to Peterson and bro, why are we pretending Peterson didn't expand all of our consciousness together? Like when he came out, it was like, you know, he's great. I love Peterson. I don't like the book that much. The Sit Up Straight book.
Jesus is Lord donated $5. It seems I can only remember the end of my dream. Since you're interested in dreaming, do you like the movie Inception? Tips to start dreaming more. It seems I only can dream like once a week.
The number one thing you can do for that is, what is your routine before bed? If you're not ridding yourself of anxiety before bed through a system, have you ever slept flexed? Like half your body's tense? That's not sleep, dude. You're hurting your money doing that. I'm telling you are, I don't care if it takes you 10 minutes or 2 hours, you need your brain at zero when you're going to bed. And that means one look at your Twitter before bed, even on low brightness, will spike it to 1,000. And it'll take you another hour to take it to 0. So this is the most frustrating thing if you're not doing it correct. So yeah, sleeping tense means you're on your phone before bed. And here's your best sleep you've ever had. You went to a lake house with your family, everyone had fun, they were playing in the water, you got tired in the water, you guys go back, have some marshmallows, and you touch your bed and you go to bed. You don't look at your phone. That kind of vacation sleep, that's how your whole life should be. And I spent 29 years of my life doing it wrong, so you're not behind. Like, I just started doing this right last year. Well, not even like, well, look at last year. We'll say last few months, because last year I was doing it right half the week, which is so horrible. Do you ever do dopamine detoxing? Yeah, I mean, I haven't been to LA or Miami in months, and that's where like my life gets colorful.
Donated
right?
$5.
Right.
Please don't pretend the dating course will get you money for the next 20 years. Save whatever you get from it now, and play it safe for when you grow old. The more you pretend money will always come, the more you will f yourself up for.
What are you retarded? Money will always come to people who know what they're doing, because money is just energy. That's all it is. If you know how to manipulate energy, you're golden, right? And how do you manipulate energy? Don't do it. Start with manipulating yourself. That's an energy source. And then you're a magnet. Dude, money is valves. You turn a couple of valves and it starts flowing. Then you go back to your old habits and it stops. Then you turn them back on and they're flowing. And a smart man just turns on the valves and keeps them open, and they all doing something, and he just stays in his higher self and doesn't go back to being an idiot. That's it, right? But yeah, money is super healthy. If you're not making money in life, you're with the devil, 100%. Okay? Like when the Bible says you have to sweat from the brow, who the doesn't get paid from sweating from the brow? What?
The Eagle donated $5. Before I go to sleep, I sleep in the state I desire to be in, and doze off into that feeling, and I make sure to wake up in that state.
Dude, if you're waking up on edge, you're doing everything wrong. It's very simple. Okay? I'm not saying getting out of bed is easy. You know? Mornings suck for everyone, for most people. Like, who hates the morning time? It takes like an hour to roll out of bed and but the point is, you get it done. Because there's guys who stay in their bed till they're sweaty. If you're staying in bed till you're sweaty, you just can't get up, you're like stone, that's severe depression. That's, yeah.
Willie Bouncebin donated $5. Tips for jawline maxing.
Someone in chat said it recently about, like, because I don't give fake advice. Like, I don't know what the mewing shit is and stuff. Like, I don't even buy into it that much. So I don't really answer questions like that. But someone in chat said, Zoomers don't eat hard foods. And I'm like, oh my God. That is so true. You know what I mean? Like, I can't think of cheese. I think of cheeser drinking yop. Oh, you guys don't know what that is. Like, they like their yogurts, and I like the yogurt too, but you know how much red meat I've had in my life? Like, I have never had a week without like 4 steaks, which is not good. It actually ages you if you look into it. But we're talking about jaw. I've had a lot of hard things in my... What the f*** are we talking about? What is your take on low vibrations or high vibrations? It's always balancing them. So people with low vibes need to go high, not high. And people with high vibrations gotta be like me. Like, I have very high energy, and then if I balance it out and talk to make a few business calls with my team, everything goes up. Oh, but if I stay high, high vibration, I'll do it myself, and that's working too many hours. Like, no. If you're working a shit ton of hours and you're making a shit ton of money, you're killing creativity. And creativity is like, you make one good album, that's $10 million. Like, there's work and projects in between work. That's how life goes, right? So for like a book, Zherka does these streams, the good stuff I say gets clipped up, it gets stored in a file that gets put into a book in bullet form with the real thought that I'm trying to express. And that's how the book is made, right? And then I make up 20 mil off that book.
DDG_representative donated $5. As a Destiny fan who'd been watching you since 2018, I'm proud of the numerology grift for easy money. I remember when you told Sneeko you only do it cause it makes you a lot of money.
True.
Top G.
True. But that's not where most of my money comes from. It's from manipulation and dating. Numerology is just, like, most people who sign up $500 for a call with me, they go, okay, thank you for the hidden numbers. That's cool. I just want the law of attraction, but paint it for me. Don't give me no bullet form, this is what you do. Paint it for me. And so then I'll begin with the highest level manifestation. You know that word, the gay word? The highest level law of attraction is a poet. Because if you guys say, I have a Ferrari, that didn't bring a picture to anyone's head. But if you say there's honeydew dripping off the V8 of my brand new Ferrari, now that image in your head that went from shadow to form, that is how you manifest. That's why these poets would be like Shakespeare level famous, because everyone knows what they're doing with that kind of a mind. That's why poets, they say, are the closest to understanding God, because they can literally do God, the imagination God gave them, justice. And remember, Floyd Mayweather doesn't believe in God and stuff, but he holds on to the imagination that he's number one. And God rewards him and says, hey, if that vision's that clear to you, you deserve it. That's how it works. Like, you don't have to be with God to get blessings from God. It's just this 100% certain way is. Your actions can be towards, let's say you want to take care of your family and stuff. You think God's not going to notice that in Floyd? No, he's going to notice that in Floyd. Like, what do you think? It's just about, what is this Protestant preaching, bro? You think it's just you saying it? Destiny's opposite. Destiny's ruled by a thing that rules over me like for a month of the summertime. Like I pipe some and I do what Destiny does. But he's ruled by it year round. Like, if Destiny doesn't have the idea of piping a chick in his head, he doesn't do a 12-hour stream. He's perfect at sexually transmuting energy. Because he just does the treat. If I do a 12-hour stream, I can go to her house, just finish it, stay on top, stay on. That's exactly how nerds should go. Like, if you're more nerdy about it.
Rotten Aquid donated $5.
Yeah.
Do all dreams have a deeper meaning, and how do you go about interpreting them? I had a dream where I shot an old friend after he shot at me first, but I still called an ambulance for him. Also, any book suggestions, and how do I book a numeral?
Yeah, you didn't shoot your friend, you shot yourself. Because in most of the characters in your dreams are going to be you fighting you. So, you should look into that. But it's not the meaning you want, you want dream amplification. So, what we do is, you tell me everything you saw in the dream, and we amplify it, because you have to get all the pieces, and the image starts coming back to you. You just want to amplify the dream. You don't want to actually know the meaning. Like, well, you want to, but you're not going to actually have the meaning. You just want the amplification. That's the symbols. That's all you need. Symbols is how you can go into that world of forms in your head, that imaginative kind of, that I'll call it it's ritualistic because it's play, right? What you play with happens. What you will does not happen without play. You know, like, I play with my money and it comes into it comes in spades, or I can do a 20-hour stream and it can come to me it has a bottleneck. It has a, there's a restriction there, busting my ass type shit, right? So now I choose, like, okay, I can do 4 hours of work, 2-hour break, and the break is play. I'm playing with imagination. And you should see my team, Dead Hex and Diminish. All I do is predict the jumps. I'm like, we're going to go up 2K this week, then we're going to go up 10K next week, and then all my predictions go correct because I know how much time it takes. Well, I don't know, I'm guessing.
Donated $5. This guy really thinks the plane is gonna blow up on the way to Miami because of the gas dragon your enemy.
No, Eclipse. Eclipse is why I think it. I watched a Boeing video and now I'm terrified. The door came off and I'm terrified. Someone opened the fucking door.
$5. How do you check your star chart, planet alignment during your birth date? Is there a particular website? Also, could you give a brief explanation on each of the planets and their meanings if they are present during your birth?
There's only 3 things you check for, and 99%, I'm not even being sales guy right now, bro. 99% of astrology on YouTube, I swear they talk about reach. Just get into Sidereal Vedic. There's the only guys that can give you at least 5% of what you need to know. Everything else it's off, and it's not even geocentric, so they're really off. And number 2, the planets are different. Like, an idealistic version of myself would be like a Kim Kardashian first house Neptune. So I have that. But for me, it runs delusion too, because it rules the imagination and the unconscious, and it's spiritual as f. That's why when I talk about God, everyone comes here. But if another streamer talks about God, it's kind of like they're talking about God with Mercury in the first house. It's like very logical and thinking and things. It's stupid, right? But yeah, there's only 3 things you check for, and the things that are conjunct or opposite. And like, I only look for the big stuff. A good one would be like Connor's got a Jupiter in his identity house. That's money. Jupiter brings you money.
My ex broke up with me 5 months ago, and I can't escape her out of my mind. I want to forget her ass. Sometimes I even have dreams of her. I distract myself by doing good habits, gym, my purpose at.
Yeah, you're never gonna get her back because you want her back. But your want is building the world that you don't have. We are bored. I'll tell you this, dude. Only women get bored. How can you be bored in God's world? You're bored. So turn the channel off, bro. This is like the self-help network. One in the chat if I should never stop helping my chatters, because dude, there's very few people living out their dream life. You know, like a Hollywood celebrity can't say what they want. That's not the dream life that they want. You know, I'm getting both worlds. Celebrity status, saying whatever the I want. You know? And ban that guy, bro. Just ban him. You're getting negative, bro. Easy, my king. You gotta go.
Thijachi donated $5. I don't want her back. My life was good before I met her.
Cope.
I just want to be back to where I was. High vibrations. I was a magnet and attracting all the good in my life.
Chad, does he want her back? You wouldn't bring her up to me if you didn't want her back. And dude, step one of wanting someone back in your life is you're putting out in the quantum field that you don't have her. Which means the quantum field is going to change the matrix so you can't have her. That's so dangerous what you're doing, bro. Like, change your thinking, change your language, right? You already have her, she doesn't have you. That's what's happening here. Jesus. And bro, honestly, I don't have sympathy. If you don't have abundance of girls texting you, you're a faggot. You've set up your life wrong, right? Like, no girl can give me stress. Like, John, I'm just gonna leave you. And I go, don't leave me, because then I'll start smashing every bitch in my phone. And they go, what? I go, yeah, like, keep me normal. And they go, why? And I go, I get lonely. And they go, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah, I'm very lonely. And they go, okay, maybe we can work on our problems, John. I go, thank you. Don't want to be back to whores. I like having one girl to, be around. But now think of it like this. If I didn't have bitches, she would literally just leave. She'd be like, oh, I'm not going to stick around with this guy. Like, what the fuck?